Operators are the action symbols of Java. They tell the compiler what operation to perform on data. Every expression you write in Java involves at least one operator. Before diving into each type, there are two important concepts to understand. The first is the operand, which is the value the operator works on. In the expression a plus b, both a and b are operands and plus is the operator. The second concept is operator precedence. When multiple operators appear in one expression like to plus 3 times 4, Java does not evaluate left to right blindly. It follows a precedence order. Multiplication happens before addition, so the result is 14, not 20. Operators with higher precedence are evaluated first. When precedence is equal, associativity decides the direction. Most operators associate left to right, but assignment operators associate right to left. Looking at the diagram, all operator categories are laid out in a structured table showing their symbols and a brief description. This gives a complete picture of Java's operator system before we go deep into each one. Understanding operators thoroughly is critical because they appear in literally every single Java program you will ever write. Arithmetic operators are the most straightforward operators in Java. They perform the same math you learned in school, but with a few important Java-specific behaviors worth knowing. Looking at the diagram table, all 5 operators are shown with examples. Plus, minus, and asterisk work exactly as expected. But slash division behaves differently depending on the data types involved. If both operands are integers, 10 divided by 3 gives 3 in Java, not 3.33. The decimal part is simply discarded, not rounded. This is called integer division. If either operand is a double, 10.0 divided by 3 gives 3.33 repeating. This difference is a very common source of bugs for beginners who expect 10 divided by 3 to produce a decimal result. The percent modulus operator is extremely useful in programming. It gives the remainder after division. 10% 3 equals 1 because 10 equals 3 times 3 plus 1. It is commonly used to check if a number is even or odd, wherein %2 equals 0 means even. It is also used to cycle through values or extract digits from a number. The plus operator has a special behavior with strings. When either operand is a string, plus becomes the string concatenation operator. The text hello plus the text world gives hello world. And the text age colon plus the number 25 gives age colon 25 because Java automatically converts the integer to a string. Unary operators are unique because they need only one operand to work, unlike arithmetic operators that need two. Looking at the diagram, 6 unary operators are listed, but the most important and most commonly confused ones are double plus and double minus. The increment double plus operator adds 1 to a variable and decrement double minus subtracts 1. Simple enough. But each has two forms that behave very differently. In prefix form, double plus placed before the variable name, the increment happens first and then the updated value is used in the expression. In postfix form, double plus placed after the variable name, the current value is used in the expression first and the increment happens after. For example, if a equals 5, then b equals prefix increment a gives b the value 6 and a is now 6 because the increment happened first. But b equals a postfix increment gives b the value 5 and a becomes 6 afterward because the original value was used first and then incremented. This distinction is critical in loops and complex expressions. The exclamation operator is logical NOT. It flips a Boolean value. Exclamation true gives false and exclamation false gives true. It is extensively used in conditions like if not I log in. The tilde operator is bitwise complement. It flips all the bits of an integer. The minus operator negates a value, giving the negative of a. These seem simple, but tilde and minus are different. -5 gives -5. But tilde 5 gives -6 because tilde flips all bits including the sign bit. Relational operators are the foundation of decision-making in Java. Every if statement, every loop condition, and every comparison relies on them. They always evaluate to either true or false and nothing else. Looking at the diagram, all 6 operators are shown with example values and the pattern is straightforward. = checks if 2 values are equal. 5 = 5 is true. 5 = 6 is false. Not equals checks if they are not equal. 5 not equals 6 is true. Greater than and less than check which value is larger or smaller. Greater than or equal and less than or equal check those boundaries inclusively. These work perfectly for primitive types. However, there is one extremely important warning that every Java developer must know. Never use = to compare string objects. When you write str1 = str2, Java compares the memory addresses of the 2 string objects, not their actual content. 2 strings with the same text but created differently can be stored at different memory locations, so = returns false even though their content is identical. To compare string content correctly, always use the .= method. str1 = str2 compares the characters inside both strings. This is one of the most common bugs in beginner Java code. The = operator is only reliable for primitives and for checking if 2 reference variables point to the exact same object in memory. Logical operators are used to combine 2 or more Boolean expressions into one compound condition. They are essential for writing complex if statements and loop conditions. Looking at the diagram, 3 operators are shown with their truth tables. A truth table lists all possible input combinations and their output. & and returns true only if both conditions are true. If the first condition is false, the result can never be true regardless of the second condition, so Java does not even evaluate the second condition. This is called short-circuit evaluation. It is a powerful feature. You can write if obj not equals null & obj.getValue greater than 0 and Java will safely skip obj.getValue if obj is null, preventing a null pointer exception. Double pipe or returns true if at least one condition is true. Similarly, if the first condition is already true, Java short-circuits and skips the second condition entirely. So if sysadmin double pipe has permission, if sysadmin is already true, Java does not even check has permission. Exclamation not flips the Boolean result. Exclamation true gives false. It is the simplest logical operator and acts on a single condition. You will commonly see it written as if not list.is empty, which reads naturally as if list is not empty. Bitwise operators operate at the lowest level. They work directly on the individual bits, meaning zeros and ones, of integer values. To understand them, you need to think in binary. Take a = 5, which in binary is 0101, and b = 3, which in binary is 0011. These values are used throughout the diagram. Ampersand for bitwise and compares each bit position of both numbers. If both bits are 1, the result bit is 1. Otherwise it is 0. So 0101 and 0011 gives 0001, which is 1. This is commonly used to mask bits, meaning to isolate or check specific bits in a value. Pipe for bitwise or gives a result bit of 1 if either bit is 1. 0101 or 0011 gives 0111, which is 7. This is used to set specific bits to 1. Caret for bitwise XOR gives a result bit of 1 only if the two bits are different. If both are the same, both 0 or both 1, the result is 0. 0101 XOR 0011 gives 0110, which is 6. XOR has a fascinating property. A value XOR itself always equals 0. This is used in clever algorithms to swap two variables without a temporary variable, find the unique element in an array, and even in some encryption techniques. Tilde for bitwise complement flips all bits of a single number. Tilde 5 flips 000000101 to 1,11,11,010, which equals -6 in Java's 2's complement representation. This always gives the result of -n+1 for any integer n. Shift operators move all the bits of a number either left or right by a given number of positions. They are very fast because bit shifting is a single CPU instruction, much faster than actual multiplication or division. This makes them popular in performance-critical code, graphics engines, and low-level system programming. Looking at the diagram, all three operators are shown with bit-level examples. Left shift moves all bits to the left by n positions and fills vacated right positions with 0. Every left shift by 1 position is equivalent to multiplying by 2. So 5 left shifted by 1 shifts 000000101 to 000001010, which is 10, exactly 5 times 2. 5 left shifted by 2 gives 20, which is 5 times 4. The pattern holds, x left shifted by n equals x times 2 to the power of n. Right shift sign moves all bits to the right by n positions. Vacated left positions are filled with the sign bit, which is 0 for positive numbers and 1 for negative numbers. This preserves the sign of the original number. Every right shift by 1 is equivalent to integer division by 2. 20 right shifted by 1 gives 10. 20 right shifted by 2 gives 5. For negative numbers, -8 right shifted by 1 gives -4 correctly because the sign bit is preserved. Unsigned right shift also shifts right but always fills vacated left positions with 0 regardless of the sign. It does not preserve the sign bit. For positive numbers, right shift and unsigned right shift behave identically. But for negative numbers, unsigned right shift treats the value as unsigned and the result becomes a large positive number. This is used in hash functions and certain algorithms where you want pure bit manipulation without sign behavior. Assignment operators store values into variables. The basic equals sign is straightforward. int x equals 10 stores 10 in x. But Java provides compound assignment operators that combine an arithmetic or bitwise operation with assignment in a single step, making code cleaner and slightly more efficient. Looking at the diagram, each compound operator is shown alongside its equivalent expanded form. X plus equals 5 is exactly the same as x equals x plus 5. It adds 5 to x and stores the result back in x. Similarly, x times equals 3 means x equals x times 3, and x% equals to means x equals x% 2. The pattern is always x operator equals value which expands to x equals x operator value. There is one subtle but important behavior of compound assignment operators. They include an implicit narrowing cast. Consider a byte variable b set to 10. b plus equals 5 compiles fine. But if you write b equals b plus 5, that gives a compile error because b plus 5 produces an int result and you cannot assign an int to a byte without an explicit cast. The compound operator plus equals handles this cast automatically behind the scenes. This is why compound operators are not just shorthand. They have slightly different behavior from their expanded equivalents when smaller data types are involved. Assignment operators also follow right-to-left associativity. When you write A equals B equals C equals 5, Java evaluates from right to left. First C equals 5, then B equals C, then A equals B. All three variables end up with the value 5. The ternary operator is Java's most compact decision-making tool. It squeezes an entire if-else block into a single line. The syntax is condition, question mark, expression if true, colon, expression if false. Java first evaluates the condition. If it is true, the entire expression returns the value after the question mark. If the condition is false, it returns the value after the colon. Looking at the diagram, the comparison between the if-else block and its ternary equivalent makes the benefit immediately clear. int max equals open parenthesis a greater than b close parenthesis question mark a colon b replaces a full 5-line if-else block with a single readable line. Ternary operators can also be nested. String grade equals open parenthesis marks greater than or equal 90 close parenthesis question mark the letter A colon open parenthesis marks greater than or equal 80 close parenthesis question mark the letter B colon the letter C. But deeply nested ternaries become hard to read quickly, so best practice is to nest only one level deep at most. Ternary is also commonly used directly inside system.out.println. One important rule is that both the true and false expressions must be compatible types. You cannot return a string in one branch and an int in another without explicit conversion, because the compiler needs to determine the return type of the entire expression at compile time. The instanceof operator is a type-checking tool. It checks at runtime whether an object belongs to a particular class, subclass, or implements a particular interface. It always returns a boolean, either true or false. The syntax is clean. The expression obj instanceof dog asks whether obj is an instance of the dog class. Looking at the diagram, the class hierarchy shows animal as the parent class with dog and cat as subclass. If we have an animal reference variable appointing to a dog object, then our instanceof dog returns true. Our instanceof animal also returns true because dog is an animal through inheritance. But our instanceof cat returns false because A is pointing to a dog, not a cat. The most important practical use of instanceof is safe casting. In Java, you can cast a parent reference to a child type. For example, dog D equals open parenthesis dog close parenthesis A. But if A is actually pointing to a cat object, this throws a class cast exception and crashes the program. By checking if a instanceof dog before casting, you guarantee the cast is safe and will never throw an exception. This pattern appears constantly in real-world Java code, especially when working with collections of mixed object types. From Java 16 onwards, there is an enhanced version called pattern matching for instanceof. The syntax is if open parenthesis a instanceof dog D close parenthesis. This checks the type and automatically casts and binds it to the variable D in one step, eliminating the need for a separate cast line. This is a major improvement in modern Java and makes code significantly cleaner. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this explanation helped you clearly understand the operators and its core components in a structured and easy way. Continue learning, keep practicing, and stay consistent with your preparation. More detailed concepts are coming next.